Hello everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you so much for being here. I'm a Western tropical astrologer and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and readings. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast. And this upcoming week, I mean April 13 to 19 of 2026. As I am uploading this video, we are already on Monday, April the 13th. It has been a very hectic week over here, so I just need a little bit more time. So let's talk about this week. This is probably one of the biggest week in 2026. One of the biggest weeks with some of the very active and even volatile aspect that is happening. Actually, one of the most volatile aspect is happening towards the end of the week, and the energy has been building a little bit, I would say, over the weekend and even past week, and it's definitely escalating and building up and climaxing towards the end of the week, and we'll dissect them one by one, but we'll start with Monday first. So Monday 13 right now, we have Venus in Taurus, sextile Jupiter in Cancer at 16 degrees. So this is a nice supportive energy to start off the week, which I am so grateful that we have that. With looking at the astrologers, which this is going to be a rather longer video, we have a lot happening every single day. So Monday, I hope as you're watching this or when you watch back after the week passed, which I suggest some of us to do so, because sometimes astrology really speak to us when we look back and see, oh yeah, that really happened to me. I really felt that, or that didn't happen for me, and so on and so forth. But look at it before as a forecast to help ourselves prepare for what's to come, so that we can also plan our schedule. It's just like a weather report. I always say, if you know this week might be a bit hectic, though this week might be a bit tougher with the aspect, and also take a look and see how it is manifesting in your own natal chart for you. So maybe I need to space out my schedule. I need to not have a busy week. I might need to expect something might not fall through the way I plan. Or if this is a week where there's more supportive energy, then I can maybe push more things out there. I can really take more action towards what I want to do. The energy supports it. There are weeks where you will feel more supported to do certain things. There might be weeks where you need to prioritize yourself, your time, your rest, your nervous system, and so on and so forth. There might be week you need to watch out for health. There might be week you need to watch out for relationships, career, work, communication, so on and so forth. So just to say, this is why it's really helpful when we're able to take a look before to get a heads up, and also reflect back later when the week passed and we come back to it and we reflect on those energy as well. So Monday 13th, with the sextile between Venus in Taurus and Jupiter in Cancer, with both benefics in the signs that they feel comfortable in, because Venus rules Taurus, Venus is in domicile in Taurus, and Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. It's a great day to be a homebody, right? Jupiter in Cancer, take care of things at home. Maybe this is a great day to clean up, to cook nourishing food. Venus in Taurus, we are definitely doing that. I live with my sister. We're actually cooking a pot of comfort food, so very on brand with the sextile. This is about taking care of yourself, your home, your body. This is about doing what feel nourishing and supported, feeling support and safe in the people that you surround in, right? Venus in Taurus, being in relationship with people, family members, co-workers that support you, be in community with people that align with your values. Venus in Taurus, right? This is about how you can also foster better relationship, relationship that support you and Mother Earth. Venus in Taurus, Jupiter in Cancer. How can you take better care, not just of yourself and people that surround you, but also on the collective level. How can you then have that with the Mother Earth as well, right? Have that with the land that you are in right now, right? Jupiter in Cancer. This is about not just taking care of ourselves, but also taking care of the unconditional love that this Mother Earth give us, right? Is constantly providing, nourishing us, giving us what we need to thrive, to live. What can we give back today? What can we give back to the community, the land, the Mother Earth? Just like I said before. On the 14th, we have Mercury in Pisces sextile Uranus and Taurus at 29 degrees. So both planets are at the last anaretic degree in both signs. So there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of feeling the need to, or there's a sense of crisis as well. So between Mercury and Uranus, this can manifest into a needed conversation that you need to have. You cannot put off anymore, right? You have this quick conversation, this quick decision, this exchange of words. You know, Mercury in Pisces, Uranus in Taurus is about quick, unexpected, but it happened because something needs to be done, right? Because they're both at the anaretic degree, wrapping their journey in both signs. So this can be, for some people, this is, we need to have this conversation right now because we need to close off a deal, to decide on something together, or to decide how we want to move on, right? Maybe this is a project, something at work. For some, maybe this is about a situation, relationship, right? This is something that for some, you didn't expect it to happen, but it happened today, right? Or maybe for some, this is something that you have been putting off, but today there's this sense of urgency with Mercury and Uranus that you have to do it because the clock is ticking. Later on in the day, Mercury will then leave Pisces and enter Aries. So this is definitely a vibe shift in Mercury. So Mercury is stepping out of Pisces, which is a mutable water sign, and now it's in the cardinal fire sign of Aries. So as of now, today, we have, including Mercury, 6 celestial body in the sign of Aries. So there is a very, very heavy fiery energy, cardinal fire energy surrounding us, individually, collectively, all over, right? So people in Mercury and Aries are very quick with their words, right? They are very quick on the feet as well. They can think of something and just say it back to you right away. Like you don't even have a second to think and they come up with something else already. Very quick with their words. Very straightforward, very blunt. They can be very, very blunt. And for some, this can come off as, wow, that's really mean. Wow, you really just like, you know, cannot sugarcoat anything. You just say it like it is, right? And people with Mercury and Aries can be sometimes a little bit too straightforward with their words, because they're very truthful. There's no need to sugarcoat it. They say it like it is, which can come off as being sarcastic as well. And also they like to roast people also. So this is their love language too, right? They like to roast people a little bit here and there as a joke, as their love language. And not everyone can perceive it this way. So be mindful with this transit, with your words, with how you say it. Not everyone take your joke, perhaps. So you do want to be mindful. But for some people, this Mercury in Aries can give you that little confident boost, energy boost to say what you've been withholding, to be more confident in expressing yourself, to speak your truth, especially if you have been avoiding some kind of conversation, avoiding to speak on something, suppressing your emotions or your thoughts. During this Mercury in Aries transit, you are giving, there's this push for you to really just speak your truth, to express yourself, to say it like it is, right? But like I said, energy goes both ways. There's a time when you feel like there's a need to balance the energy as well. So do be mindful with this energy. Mercury will stay in Aries until May 2nd. Next day on April 15th, the moon will then enter Aries. So as of April 15, we will then have 7 celestial bodies in the sign of Aries, 6 planets and the astral Chiron. So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, Saturn and Neptune, right? And then we also have Chiron, the asteroid. So that is a lot of Aries energy. We haven't had that in like 100 years. Seriously, like the last time we have this much fire Aries energy, the last time we have these many planets in one sign, in the sign of Aries, is long time. It's like 1821, okay? So that is a long time. And having all these planets, having all these energy in a cardinal fire sign is very combative, it's very volatile. I'm not saying this to fearmonger and to stir up some fear and worries, but we do need to be mindful of this energy, because in one way, not everyone can work with this much fire energy, because we all have different unique natal chart. While we all embody all 12 signs, they are all in our natal chart. The Aries house is like fired up, okay? So some of us love and thrive on this fiery energy, especially if you have Aries in your big 3, or if you have other fire signs as your big 3, or if you have a lot of planets in fire signs, you love it, you thrive on it. This is great for you. But if you have opposite energies, right? If you have a lot of planets in other energy, you might feel overwhelmed. You might feel very inflame in some way. So do take care and see how these energy comes up for you. It's hard. I mean, I feel like all our nervous system is going to be wired up and fired up. So this is very, very, very important for us to practice our grounding tools, to breathe, to not rush, to take care of our emotions. Any flare-ups, whether it's physically, look at this, or mentally, emotionally, we do need to take care of ourselves. And on a collective level, with this much fire energy, unfortunately, there's definitely going to be escalation in violence, in wars, in all the things I don't want to happen, but this is what is happening. But also on the bright side is, with all these happening, then we can also truly reflect on what it is that we are here to do as a human being, as a spiritual being incarnated into the earth at this moment, seeing this level of violence, seeing this much of destruction. Then how can we take care not just ourselves, but each other and Mother Earth, this floating blue and green dot that is experiencing this level of impact and destruction? Is it able to hold us and continue to nourish and support us? What can we do to mediate these damages and destruction? We are not powerless. I know it's very easy for us to feel this way, but the fact is, together we can do so much more than we think we can. So yeah, this is an invitation to feel all this fiery energy, but also use this fiery energy, right, to our highest good, for our highest good, right? In some way, we can have this big sense of push, feeling that sense of urgency to act, to just let's fucking go, to just let's say it, do it, speak it. But also to pull back that fire energy just a little bit, to really think before you act. Make sure you are responding and not reacting. But with this level of fire energy, this is also not the time, and I say it with from a place of love and not trying to gaslight or put down anyone, but we do see a very polar opposite in people, right? And this is also an invitation with this much of fire energy, is to look within. on different levels, right? Your values, your belief system, your patterns, people that you surround with, people that you align with, people that you follow, that you look at, and how are you doing? Are you one of those people that is still trying to put your head under the sand and pretend everything is love and light, everything is okay, because it is not, right? You shouldn't maybe be keeping the peace and trying to avoid and bypass anymore. Maybe this is not the time to be withdraw and stay away, but this much fire energy is inviting you to look within and see what is coming up. Can we lean in this big Aries fiery energy to conflict resolution instead, right? I feel like especially with what I do, what I experience as an astrologer, more on the side of providing consultation, having sessions, healing sessions, or consultations sessions with my clients, and also interacting with people and just observing how so many of us, and myself included, you know, participating in what is happening. Many of us are very good at saying our piece, but not every one of us are very good in conflict resolution, right? It is very important for all of us to take a stand, to say something and do something and express ourselves, but it's equally important to practice active listening. Can we also listen to understand? While maybe it is important to say our piece, to urge people, and I'm speaking this to myself as well at the same time, can we also, you know, express in a way that we are not trying to put people down and make them feel bad, but also invite them to join forces to be better together, right? To be the solution, because admit it, we are all part of the problem. Every single one of us, myself included, we are part of the problem, period. But can we also be a part of the solution? We can, if we want to, if we listen to each other, if we practice empathy, if we come together, right? So with all these fiery energy accumulating this week, has been accumulating the past week and climaxing this week, and will continue to play out the next week as well. Can we, with all this fire energy, to sit with them, to process them, to communicate with them, with each other, and to use them for our highest good. On the same day, on the 15th, after Moon enter Aries, it will also conjunct Mercury and Neptune in Aries, because they are all in that first couple degrees in Aries, so they're all together there. So today can also be a very emotional day, right? With Moon, Mercury, Neptune in Aries, this can be a day where it can feel very confusing for some. It can be like, for some, this can be a day where you are really feeling the feels, expressing your emotion, what you have been perhaps suppressing or what you have been feeling. But on the other hand, some of us can also feel very confusing with all these emotions and feelings happening on the same time, at the same time, with our thoughts and things. So this is definitely a day to understand what are you feeling, how you're feeling, and how to articulate them, to share, to express as well. Okay, literally multiple things happening on every single day. 16th, we have the Chiron Cazimi happening at 26 degrees in Aries. So this is when the sun crosses and aligns with any planet that is at Cazimi. So today is the sun and Chiron. Chiron is known as the wounded warrior, the wounded healer. It is the asteroid that talk about our wounding, our trauma that we experience personally and collectively. And Chiron in Aries is more about our sense of identity, our personal struggles and wounds. This is about our sense of agency, our sense of determination, our willpower also as well. So today with this Cazimi, we can feel extra tender. We can feel a lot. We can feel trigger. Some of us, the past wounds, trauma might surface up. Some of us can be a day to look back and see how far you have come on your healing journey. Some of us might be embarking on a healing journey today as well. So depending on your own human story and experience, these are all the possibilities. So make space for that today as well. Later today, we have Mars in Aries, sextile Pluto in Aquarius at 5 degrees. So whenever almost all planet aspect Pluto, there's a certain level of secrets being revealed, right? So with Mars sextile Pluto is a supportive aspect today. So this can be a day where certain secrets or information is being revealed regarding to the power dynamic and struggles that, or an abusive situation or relationship we are experiencing, personally or on a collective level. This can be a supportive aspect to take action, right? It's a sextile. It's between Mars, which is the action seeker, the person that is taking action. Pluto, right? Related to power struggle dynamics or abusive situation. Maybe this is a day where you're going to speak up, where you're going to take action about certain power dynamics or struggle that you're experiencing, to take your power back, to do something about it, right? Mars is also the activist energy, right? Pluto in Aquarius is the collective, is the power of people. Today can also be things such as like a worker strike that might happen, you know, like union strike, a protest, some kind of organized event might happen today. This can also be I just saw on the news that a man threw a Molotov cocktail to the OpenAI CEO, which I find it very funny, very Mars in Aries, right? And today paired with that sextile in Pluto and Aquarius, maybe something like that might happen again, which I'm not opposed to. But yes, that might happen. Today is not done yet. We have another aspect. So we also have on the same day, Mercury conjunct Neptune in Aries at 2 degrees. So this can feel like a Mercury retrograde today for some, right? Because all these aspects are happening. But are we feeling all of them? Some of us are, but some of us might feel one aspect more than the other. So Mars conjunct Neptune in Aries, this can be not knowing what you're doing or what you're saying. So please be careful with your words today. This can feel like Mercury retrograde. This can feel like confusion. It's like almost, is it real or is it AI, right? Because Neptune and Aries with Mercury can also be like, are you telling me the truth or are you sugarcoating, right? Personally, on a collective level, is this AI generated or is it the truth, right? It's so hard to tell anymore sometimes. And it's quite funny because it's also happening in Aries, right? Which associate with wars, with violence, with, you know, what's happening around the world. So this conjunction can also be, I've been when I was scrolling Instagram yesterday, I saw a recent video that Iran dropped, which is, I don't support AI. I do not use AI, but I saw this AI video that they create this Lego videos of Iran trolling the US. And while I do not support it, I do find it funny. We might see more of that today with this aspect or this week, you know, because there's just so much energy in Aries right now. And with Mercury entering Aries, and soon later will join force with Mars. And as I continue, you will see, I'm definitely we might see more, you know, not necessarily maybe the Lego video, but more videos for sure. Okay, let's talk about the new moon on 17. So the new moon in Aries is happening on the 17th, 4:51 a.m. Pacific time, or 7:51 p.m. Hong Kong time, so just the time according to where you are in the world. New moon is when the sun and moon come together, conjunct together at the same degree. So this is happening with the sun and the moon at 27 degrees 28 minutes in the sign of Aries. So this new moon is conjuncting Chiron, which we have the exact Chiron Cazimi just the day before. So today they are conjuncting. So Chiron at 26, the sun and the moon at 27, so they're still conjunct. So this reminds me of the eclipse that we had 2 years ago, April 8. I remember that eclipse very clearly because it's very visual in some parts of the world. Like literally we saw so many videos of that eclipse that time. April 8, that was when we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries at 19 degrees. And that was also a conjunction with Chiron. That was even like exact, because on the day we also have Chiron Cazimi at 19 degrees. So it's almost like 2 years later, we have the same configuration again. A new moon, essentially, you know, that was a solar eclipse in Aries, also conjunct Chiron. So for some of us, this is also a point of reflection, right? 2 years ago, we have that. 2 years later, we have this again. This is about, like I said before, with the Chiron Cazimi. Chiron in Aries is about experiencing the wound, the trauma, past experience that relates to our self-identity, right? Aries is all about the self. I am, right? So this is about themes and topics surrounding your sense of identity, your sense of independence, your sense of agency, your self-determination, right? That journey of it. How has it been the past couple of years to today, as we have this new moon in Aries, as we have this Chiron Cazimi? Reflect on your journey on these topics the past 2 years, how far you've come. Some perhaps wounds or trauma might surface up today for you to look deeper, right? To heal on a deeper level, to peel back another layer, to look within and see how far you've come. Or maybe to finally take that step to embark on that healing journey for you, right? And take a look and see your Aries house. We all have one, right? Aries is ruling one house in your natal chart. I use a Hosan house system. So which house is that? What are the themes, topics, area of life is that for you? And that house is lit up with 7 celestial body. And today with that new moon, what seed are you planting for the next 6 months, right? Because 6 months later, we'll have a full moon in Aries. So what intention are you setting today regarding to those topics I've just talked about? And having this new moon, and we have been having new moons at the later degree, the last decan of all the signs, right? There's also this sense of what do we need to release and let go in order to make space to set new intention and plant new seeds for this house, for all these topics as well. And Aries is all about the sense of self, like I said. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? Right? So much has been happening, perhaps in your personal life, but also on a collective level. What can we do? What seeds are you planting? Aries, like I said, it's not neutral, right? The sister sign of Aries is Libra on the opposite side, which is the scale. But Aries is about you, right? And for some people, this can feel very selfish, right? Oh my God, it's just about you. What about the others, right? Libra. But this new moon in Aries is asking you to come back home to yourself. What about you? What are your values? What are your belief system? What's your pattern? And what's the relationship you have with yourself? Are they healthy? Are they How are they doing, right? And what can you do to better take care of all those stuff, all those topics I've just mentioned? Because when you are not in the best relationship with yourself, how can you give back to the world, to people around you, to the collective? And right now, with what is happening, we need every one of us. We need every one of us to fight together. So how can you better take care of yourself so that you can be not just your own warrior, but warrior for the collective as well? And just a side note, today on April 17, to all the parents that are giving birth to babies today, or around, I would say this week towards the end as well, your baby has big ass Aries energy. So in some way, bright side is you do not need to worry about this baby. That baby is self-sufficient and it's not going to listen to you anyway. With so much Aries, with 6 planets and asteroid Chiron in Aries, this baby is a superpower in self-sufficient, self-determination. Maybe a bit too much. They don't need you. But also on another side is good luck with that. And if you want a natal chart, I'm happy to provide one. But I wonder what those babies will become. And I'm very curious of that energy. If you are someone with this much energy in one sign or in Aries, comment below. I would love to know how you feel this energy as well. And if you have Aries as your big 3, like meaning if you have Aries sun, moon, rising, especially Aries rising, this week, if one of you are listening, watching this video, comment below. Let me know how you feel with this much planet in your rising sign. Do you feel it physically? Do you feel it mentally or emotionally? I would love to know. Just doing some research. So if you know anyone or if you're one of them, comment below. On the 18th, we have Mercury in Aries, sextile Pluto and Aquarius at 5 degrees. So today can be a very cutthroat, straightforward, clean cut, but also deep, cathartic, transformative conversation. Because we have Mercury in Aries, very straightforward, very blunt, say it like it is. We have Pluto in Aquarius, which is about deep transformation, cathartic connection. So this can be a very revealing conversation that some of us are having today. This can be, but it's a sextile, so eventually it's very supportive as well. But we do need to be mindful that this sextile might be some of us saying something that unintentionally hurt somebody or reveal something that maybe the other person don't want you to. So you do want to be mindful of that energy. Finally, the biggest aspect, one of the biggest aspect in 2026, and probably the most anticipated because so many astrologers talked about it, put a circle, put a pin on this aspect. This is the Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aries at 7 degrees. So we have the 2 malefics meeting up today. This is the kiss of a devil, right? And not trying to be doom and gloom, but when we have this aspect, it's typically on a collective level, very combative. It's the friction because Mars is the gas pedal and Saturn is the brake. So when you press on the both at the same time, which I did for fun when I had a car, not a good thing to do. But when you do something like that, when you press on the gas, press on the brake at the same time, this is dangerous. Eventually they spark the leather and it will cause a spark, then cause the fire. So today is definitely that kind of energy. On a collective level, not great, okay? Not great. This can be friction. This can be closing of borders, right? Because we have Saturn. It's like that, no. Closing off, no more. But then we have that fire. So it's volatile. So in one way, this can be escalation of wars, violence, This can be people that being oppressed further. This is about restricting, right? Grinding in and pushing in that that energy even more. This because Saturn is the foundation, is the structure, and Mars want to cause friction, right? So for some, this is also feeling that break, that crack of the breaking or collapse of a structure and system. This can happen personally too, right? This is maybe the last straw of something that is not working, and you're experiencing some kind of block today. You are getting that hard no, that big rejection that's just not happening for you today, right? And it can be like, and the energy built up, right? This is the exact conjunction today, but the energy has been building up. They have been getting closer and closer, so it can happen in the last week, you have been feeling like you are fighting an uphill battle, and today you reach the breaking point, right? You are just like pulling that last straw. It's just seeing maybe something is just not going the way you want it. It's just not happening. You're getting pushback, you're getting triggered, you are feeling that sense of like WTF today. And some of us can feel being pushed over to the edge, right? Feeling triggered, feeling angry, feeling you want to hurt somebody, right? Depending on where it's happening in your chart. So please take care of yourself today, right? You can't control other people, but you can control yourself. So please take care of yourself. I'm not saying that you need to hide in your home, but if you feel the need to, do that. But this is about choosing your battle wisely today, right? When there is a situation or there is a confrontation, don't push. Just let it go, brush it off, right? Or also depending on the situation you are in, right? The human story that you're living. Maybe this is for some not a situation you can push anymore. Just let it go, right? Or this is a situation that you cannot keep letting people to push you over as well, right? This is the moment to fight back and like, no, you're not doing this to me today. I'm speaking up, I am expressing, I am drawing that boundary, right? Saturn. So depending which side you're on, you will be using this energy and feeling this energy differently. So the best way to approach this is just be really alert, aware, especially if you feel like you're crashing out. You know, maybe you need to prioritize rest, avoid burnt out if you can, or maybe you have already been feeling it. So this is really the day that to not push. Maybe this is practicing your grounding work is so incredibly important this week, right? I talked about it last week as well to prepare for it, but this week we're really in it, right? And it's also leading into the next week energy as well. So do prioritize rest if you can, have your grounding tools with you. Try not to take things personally if you can. For some, this is very physically showing up for you. This is really showing up for you in a physical way. So maybe stay hydrated, definitely drink more water. There might be flare-ups here and there, so please take care of your body as well. Really don't push yourself if you can. Later today on the 19th, the sun then enters Taurus. That is 6:39 p.m. Pacific time, or for earlier time zone, this is the next day on the 20th, 9:39 a.m. Hong Kong time. I am welcoming the sun in Taurus because with so much fire energy, the sun in Taurus is going to ground us back into reality, to help us ground a little bit more, right? We need that sun in Taurus. So I know even though it's hard, but this sun in Taurus will definitely give us a little bit more grounding, right? We are feeling this conjunction this week and probably early next week as well. But on a collective level, we're feeling it next week, definitely, right? Things is definitely playing out. It's not just gonna be, oh, this aspect happened today and that's it. No, energy, slowly, they don't just happen and fade away this quickly. But let's talk about Taurus season a little bit. This Taurus season is not going to be the typical cool, calm, collected, grounded with all this aspect happening. We also do have Uranus still in Taurus, but very soon entering Uranus. So no, sorry, this Taurus season is not going to be as quiet and calm as we thought it would be. But Taurus typically is slow and steady, is calm and collected, is grounding, is the most fixed sign in the zodiac, meaning also the most stubborn. It is not going to budge. So we might feel this energy a little bit during this transit. You might find yourself a little bit more stubborn than usual, but also more grounded. I hope we hone into and lean into this grounding energy more as well with the sun in Taurus. Taurus is about our embodiment, right? Our sensual, our physical, tangible experience in the earth. Taurus relates to our finance as well. This might be a transit where you pay attention to your finance, personal finance, pay attention to the money, stock market, crypto. Taurus also talk about what we can touch, right? Our resources, agriculture, Mother Earth. This is a transit we might relate to our land more. We want to be more hands-on. We pay attention to what is happening around the world with our Mother Earth, right? With climate change, we might feel more called to do some of those work. And just a heads up, I don't talk about this often, but I do want to mention when we have an extra long period of void of course moon. If you don't know what it is, this means when the moon is just not doing anything. It's just floating. It's not creating any aspect with any planets in the solar system, right? So the moon is just floating by itself, not interacting with any planets. That is a time when you don't want to also do too much. And with what happened with all this aspect this week, Sunday will be a great time, also Monday, because it's 35 hours 43 minutes. So it's gonna begin I would say April 19th late at night, whole day of April 20th until in the morning of April 21st. That's Pacific time though. Okay, so you might want to just have a very slow Sunday night and Monday if you can. Don't do too much that is like super important, right? If you want to announce something, don't do it during course of voice moon, because nothing will come to it, right? Because the moon is not doing anything. There's no aspect happening. So but what you want to do during the void of course moon is do something that you don't want any reaction from anyone, right? Or to rest. So this is just a little tidbit about voice of course moon. So this is what is happening this week. So much happening. So please take care of yourself, take care of your energy as much as you can. I hope you can prioritize rest if you can, space out your schedule, and just be a little bit more self-aware with what is happening around you as well, and take care of each other if it's okay, if you can. And I'm sending you so much love. This is also the last week of Aries season, meaning a last week of my 15% off for all my offerings. So if you want a personal consultation, reading, healing sessions, email me, DM me, and I hope to connect with you. See you next time.